This is the second of the videos. Eddie, can you tell us what led you to polyrhythm?
Yeah, I first heard the Bwiti music about 7 or 8 years ago, and it just blew my mind. Like, I'd never heard anything like it. It was this crazy rhythmic music with these harps and these strange instruments from this tribe in Gabon. And it was just really extraordinary. It had this effect on my mind of just sort of pulling my mind apart and unraveling my mind, and that sort of had a really deep impact on me. And I wanted to do something like that musically. So that was quite a big influence. And in hearing that music, I kind of started to think, sort of in quite a Western way about quantifying and making like polyrhythmic structure. How can I maximize the kind of polyrhythms? What's all the different options? Because I think their stuff is very wild. It's kind of got a wild rhythmic all over the place about it, which is brilliant, and I love it. But that's not what I'm doing. Yeah, hearing that music and hearing all of the amazing things they were doing with rhythm kind of opened me up to this new world of what's possible with rhythm. And I kind of set about trying to sort of quantize that, make it, order it. 2s against 3s against 5s against 7s, and all the different ways they can be combined. And it's trying to find systems, trying to find patterns, and trying to put them together. But the root of it started from just that realization that music could be rhythmically that. The rhythm could do that. All these different speeds could do that to your consciousness. Like, I was really inspired by that. I wanted to try and maximize that.
You said something before about the stillness, opening up from the busyness of the different rhythms.
Yeah, it's like these different rhythms pulling your mind in different directions, and until there's just this spaciousness, a spacious stillness in the middle of it all, like the eye of the storm or something. And I kind of liked the idea of having multiple speeds, just would do that more and more and more. And how can I maximize that effect? If I can maximize that effect with multiple polyrhythms in all sorts of interesting patterns, can I maximize that effect of pulling the brain apart, pulling the mind apart?
Okay, so that was one important influence. What did your musical journey look like?
Well, I started playing the piano when I was 4. My mum's a piano teacher. So I started playing piano at 4, and I started improvising very early on. But I got taught all of the main classical composers. So I got to know from quite early on, Bach and Beethoven and Mozart and that sort of thing. And I played in rock bands and prog bands and an Elvis tribute band and orchestras and all sorts of things. I had lots of very different musical experiences and tried to take on these different kinds of music. But the main influence is compositionally is Bach, because there's something, it's like the foundation of Western music, but it's something cosmic about it. It's just like this mathematical perfection, which is like nature. It's not like a kind of mathematicism like it's sterile mathematics. It's not like it's really like, it feels really organic, like nature, like the mathematics of nature. So I love Bach, and there's a big inspiration there.
I know you spoke of at the age of 16 hearing Chopin's.
Yeah, I heard the Fancy Impromptu when I was 16. I heard my Uncle Raymond playing it at a family do, and I thought, that's a cool piece, and I liked it sounded like a very interesting texture, and of course that was just the polyrhythm. It's quite a simple polyrhythm, it's just 3/4, but because it's fast, it's something like this, it's going. Something like that. And so it's got a 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, over that 3. So it's quite a straightforward problem. But when I was 16, it was like, wow, that's difficult and fast and amazing, and it was really exciting. And so I guess I had at least 3/4 and simple polyrhythms going from about 16, and I still used to play and improvise with 3/4.
Did you like the busyness of it? Did you see it when you unpicked it? Did you see it as a polyrhythm, or did you just like the virtuosic opportunity?
I don't think I really realised when at that age anything like, I didn't see polyrhythm in any way like the same way. I just knew that this bit of Chopin's got a little bit of polyrhythm in that bar, and this bit of Debussy's got a bit of polyrhythm there, and I know how to do that, and that's fine. But you only ever come across 2/3 and 3/4 if you look at all of the Western music, apart from like occasionally in some 20th century stuff. But out of the sort of normal piano composers, sort of like pre-Wagner sort of stuff.
And then there's the biggie for you, Wagner.
Yeah, Wagner is one of the biggest influences. I first heard Tristan about 8 or 9 years ago, just slightly before the Bwiti music, and it just took took the lid off my musical world. It was, it's like a transcendental experience. It lifted me out of myself, and I kind of that moment, there was almost a sort of despondency in that, like, from a composition point of view, I could never approach that or ever begin to go further than that, and there's almost a despair about it. But in that, they felt this inspiration to go in a different direction and to be epic and grand and big in a different kind of way. And so having the multiple dimensions of polyrhythm, just it feels like it's a whole new world to create something exciting and wonderful in a world that sort of Wagner has kind of.
Do you think so? For you, was Wagner's world multi-dimensional in a different way? In
a different way, yeah. It was really particularly the ring and the way that all the different motifs weave in and out of each other and create these. There's stuff going on in the basic storyline, but then there's another layer going on in the underlying emotional movement of the motifs, and there's all kinds of implied things going on. Yeah, there's all sorts of layers to it.
And you've drawn some of those layers into your own work, haven't you? But in a different way, but at the same time, in one of the etudes, you quite clearly reference Wagner.
Yeah, I've got a reference. I've got a little quote from the Ring cycle in there. It just felt appropriate at that moment for the flow of the piece, and I ended it with motif from Parsifal. I think the end of the third goes. It's got the bit from the end of Parsifal, the opera, where it's rising with these voices rising into the heavens. It's like this.
So in a sense, it seems that on the piano you're managing to draw a whole series of different voices, if you like, together, and that's in polyrhythm. And then you take it a step further, which we'll look at in the next video, with polyphasing.
Yeah, that's when it gets really, really interesting, when you can combine the two in the way that I'm using the word. Combining polyrhythm and polyphasing just makes for all kinds of exciting stuff rhythmically. But yeah, we'll do that in the next video.